Hi, I'm Ben from Team Panic, and this is the Wilhelm scream. It is a sound effect that's been used in kind of hundreds of movies and TV shows throughout the years. It's kind of got to the point where it's a bit more of an in-joke between sound engineers than it is anything else. And I love this to pieces because it's kind of a go-to movie scream. You've probably heard this before because, like I said, it's been everywhere. So I wanted to make a robot that does the Wilhelm scream anytime it's pushed or knocked over or fallen off something or gets shot. So let's grab some parts. I was hoping that there was going to be a lot of space in here that I could start jamming in components and things, and as you can see, there is like no space in here, like none at all. There might be some in the legs and some in the arms. I'm pretty sure I can get these arms apart, but it's not going to be huge amounts of room, and we still do have to fit the soundboard and speaker in here somewhere. So I was really hoping that I could keep this walking mechanism going, but this is our soundboard and speaker. And as you can see, that's going to take up like the full width of the body there, or it could potentially take up some of the battery pack. So we've got, the good thing about this guy is that it's supposed to take AA batteries, and we've got an arm falling off there, oh, both of them. So I could potentially jam this inside here somewhere. That might actually be the case. That might be where we have to go. I'm just going to have to take a Dremel to the insides here and gut this to the point that the battery, that the soundboard fits in here. The only issue then is this speaker. The speaker is huge. I don't know what I can do about that, because I do really want to have the Wilhelm scream happening, and I don't think that a little like piezo buzzer or something that would fit inside this robot would actually make a satisfying scream. So I have some bad news. He is never gonna walk again. Basically, the motor that came in him, which is on the table somewhere, is just massive, and it means that there's not enough space in here to jam in all the electronics and bits and pieces that I need. Also, I'm just going to take one of the batteries out of the back so I don't get a small jolt from messing around inside here. And what I tried to do was I tried to get this motor into here, because this would have, well, it is quite a lot smaller, which means that it would have actually left a bit of space in around it, as you can see, for all of the other electronics. The only problem is that this gearbox here is a about 100 to 1 reduction, and then the worm drive into the drive down here is another huge number on top of that, and then there's extra gearing going on down there. So when I mounted this up and did a quick test run, just holding everything in place with my fingers, I barely got any movement from the output shaft. Other problem, this is the outer body out here, and I really want to mount the speaker in this area here, but as you can see, the speaker that came with this board, that is too big, and then all the other speakers that I have and own myself are too big, which is really quite devastating. So I've done what any normal rational person would do in this situation, and I went and bought myself a space sword. So it's now like 3 weeks later, I guess. This here is the electronics you just saw me solder up. Unfortunately, I made one small error with one of the wires running out to this little 3.3 volt regulator module, and it fried everything. Like, all of the chips on those boards fried, although the Arduino only fried the voltage regulator, but it meant that I couldn't power the thing up from the battery. So as I said, it's about 3 weeks later because I had to wait for new parts to come in. So this is a brand new accelerometer chip. This one's actually a digital accelerometer. The old one was a analog accelerometer, so slight differences, which means I need to redo some of the code, and I also need to redo all of the wiring, and I also got a brand new speaker module as well because that thing died too. So now I have more code and more wiring and all of that kind of stuff to do, but that's what happens when you accidentally mess up wiring and all of that kind of stuff. Alright, so I'm going to just kind of skip this for you guys because you've seen me do all this already. Let's get moving, and hopefully the next thing you'll see is me putting this whole thing together. Okay, so it is test time. Let's turn this thing on at the back here and knock it over. What? Okay, right, so when you pick it back up, apparently, and when it falls over. Okay, I don't know what was going on. Maybe I need to tweak the sensitivity settings a little bit. Let's try again. Huh? Okay, so if you knock it over gently... What? Oh, okay, let's see. Yes! Oh, awesome. Okay, so it seems like there is some sensitivity issues with it. I think maybe it's just the way I'm... What? I think it's maybe the way I'm mixing this. Or maybe I need a longer delay between... Oh, okay, I don't know exactly what the go is. But I wonder what it actually does take to set this thing off.
Die, robots!